Welcome back everyone to the Sim Racing Show, your weekly dose for all of the news in the world of sim racing. And this week we're diving into the long-awaited RaceRoom update, which has brought the iconic Super Touring and some dynamic track systems that are meant to transform the game. Gran Turismo 7 has just made it ridiculously easy to earn a fortune in credits with its new holiday campaigns. You won't want to miss those if you're on GT7. And obviously iRacing has dropped the latest build featuring iconic cars like the Ferrari 499 hypercar, but is it as groundbreaking as fans had hoped? There's been some controversy there, and that's not all, because Le Mans Ultimate has also finally launched the LMGT3 DLC, long awaited, and the FIA has announced it's stepping in to regulate esports racing. Not sure we want that. We're going to discuss. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown has brought back a fan favourite map as part of a huge Season 2 update. Is that going to be the saviour for Test Drive Unlimited? And lots more besides. It's been another really exciting week for sim racing. So much energy, so many updates in the space. 2025 is looking like it could possibly be the best year ever for sim racing. But I did see your comments, and I know that many of you have been waiting for news on the RaceRoom update. So here we go. The RaceRoom Super Touring have been released in RaceRoom last week. So let me just confirm what they've added. The BMW E36, Audi A4 Quattro, Volvo 850, Volvo S40, and the Honda Accord. So iconic Super Tourers there. And to keep that retro theme going, RaceRoom also added a classic version of Silverstone. So that pack is on sale for £13.18 or £4.94 per car, very specific. They've also separately done a version of Estoril, I understand it, and Monza and Watkins Glen have been updated to 2024 specifications. They've made some updates to Hockenheimring as well. Better curbs, they say, white lines and cameras, and they've made AI improvements for tracks like Zandvoort and Lausitzring. So RaceRoom is continually adding these updates. It's a free-to-play sim, so it's kind of free-to-play, but then you have to buy all these packs and all these cars and tracks. Slightly different to the iRacing subscription, and you need to buy a model. But they have added a dynamic track system as well, so it should make the circuits dirtier throughout a session. iRacing doing something similar with their new debris system as well. But in RaceRoom, they've enhanced, they say, tire mark visuals, spectator client stability, and car physics liveries and setups. And they've also teased a drift-focused content pack. So RaceRoom really now going from strength to strength. Let me know in the comments what you think of RaceRoom. Really interested to hear from you. Gran Turismo 7, by the way, is bringing some big rewards straight off the back of the 2024 GT World Series. Well, I think I got 2 out of the 3 predictions right. So hopefully I got you 2 million credits there. Before we get into this, a big thank you to today's sponsor, GT Omega, who provided me with the sim rig you can see behind me and this chair as well. So if you want to look for a sim rig, you want to kind of up your game, they've got a whole range of products. Go to gtomega.com. Make sure you put in my code Kireth5 or get you an extra 5% off. Loads of videos on this channel reviewing their products and kind of letting you know the pros and cons. Definitely go check that out. And a big thank you to GT Omega for sponsoring the sim racing show again. So Polyphony, back to GT7, they have launched a very easy campaign here to get loads of credits. They're calling it the Holiday Season Login Bonus Campaign. Rolls off the tongue. It's running in 2 stages. You just have to log in. Like, I don't need to give you any secret tips here, or just log in. So just log in between December 15th and January 5th and you're going to get loads of credits, which is pretty cool. Gran Turismo 7, when it launched, in my opinion, it was way too hard to get credits. They were kind of nudging people towards microtransactions. Remember, if you want to get something like the McLaren F1 car, it's about $200 worth of microtransactions, so I didn't like all of that. But now they've been adding more stuff. You can log in via your PlayStation or a remote play device. And I do have the new PlayStation Portal that I am going to be doing a review on to see whether it's something that you can play sim racing on, something like ACC or GT7 on your console. Can you have a good experience through that? Specific rewards GT7 are giving: 6-star roulette ticket, 100,000 credit ticket, 6-star engine roulette ticket, 5-star roulette ticket, and a 250,000 credit ticket. So it's just absolutely free. No point missing out on it if you're going to be playing Gran Turismo 7 anyway. But let's talk about from the real driving simulator to the real driving simulator, iRacing, and the controversy I mentioned earlier, centering around the Ferrari 499p. And this has really blown up online. So remember, iRacing's latest build dropped last week, and the 499p was a big part of that. Remember, that is a WEC stage winning car. It won Le Mans as well. So it's a real iconic car from Ferrari in WEC, where Le Mans Ultimate have the license. Also racing in IMSA as well, I believe, as well. I might be wrong on that. but it looks like it's exposing some weaknesses in iRacing's hypercar kind of simulation, because it laps or has speeds that are much higher than it should do or has in real life. And iRacing fans are not happy about this because it's exposing the lack of a hypercar hybrid system in iRacing. And Le Mans Ultimate have jumped on this. There's been a lot of social media that Le Mans Ultimate have been doing. Developers have been posting in iRacing as well. They're really taking the fight to iRacing. They say that they have a better hypercar system. So jumping to Le Mans Ultimate, they finally launched the LMGT3 DLC pack, controversially because the game is in early access, but they're charging you for GT3s. So that's bought the BMW GT3, the Ferrari 296 GT3 Evo, and the Corvette Z06. And remember, you get the McLaren 720S for free. Now, difficult to tell kind of like how this is being received. Remember, Le Mans Ultimate, they've laid off a load of people over the year. They're kind of not hitting the concurrent numbers on Steam that you might hope for. They're still charging for all this DLC. And now they're entering the GT3 free. They're competing against iRacing, ACC, all the other GT3 sims, whereas before they were doing GTEs, which actually I think are more fun to drive anyway. And they've also introduced subscriptions for the first time. So you can get access to online championships and all the Studio 397's content for a monthly fee. So not only is it in early access, you've got to pay for these cars, the ones you're not getting for free, and you've got to pay for an online subscription as well. So there are hosted servers, there are private league racing, but are people going to pay for it? I feel like that's going to be really off-putting for a lot of people, but I'm not sure Le Mans Ultimate have a choice because they need to bring that money in. Now, I did talk about sim racing getting more popular, and the FIA want in. They want to regulate esports with new rules. They've introduced an esports-specific appendix to the International Sporting Code, aiming to create rules for virtual motorsport events. It's part of their Vision 2030 strategy. This Appendix C is going to address issues unique to esports, like handling racing licenses and how you define drivers. And this is following the FIA getting more involved in esports with stuff like the Motorsport Games and the Olympic Esports Series. There's always been issues in esports about cheating, impersonation, kind of now this proliferation of, expensive hardware, like we've got the SimuCube active pedals on the rig here, is at an unfair advantage. So maybe this is why the FIA is getting involved. But I have to say, given the way the FIA's run or adjudicated some stuff in Formula 1 this season, I'm not sure anyone's looking forward to this. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think the FIA regulating esports is a good thing or not? Now something a bit more relaxed. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown has launched Season 2 earlier than expected. It's brought with it Ibiza, new cars, quality of life improvements as well. So you can explore and race the streets of Ibiza from obviously Test Drive Unlimited 2 alongside the existing island of Hong Kong. They've also say they've addressed some technical issues that impacted the game's launch, like stability, adding proximity voice chat, refining the steering wheel animations, and fixing compatibility with high-end PC racing wheels. They say, don't worry, we've got a few high-end ones here that we're going to be testing out and letting you know. Remember, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, the launch was absolutely atrocious. Also, this update didn't really launch on Xbox properly. They had to delay it. But here's some new cars they've added. So, Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300, Ferrari California, Lamborghini Diablo VT, Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, and Celine editions of existing models like the Alfa Romeo 4C, Chevrolet Corvette C1 have joined as well. This is a free update, so fresh content coming in for free alongside all of the Solar Pass. Remember, I paid $100 for this game on PlayStation. I was very disappointed at launch, but then the PS5 Pro has significantly improved the game. It's now much more playable at 60 frames a second on PS5 Pro. BeamNG coming back to the sim racing show. Updates have been few and far between, which is why we haven't featured it for a long time. You know that I love BeamNG on the channel, just doing crazy stuff in there. V0.34 was a rare treat for the fan base. They added the Brucknell 9. It's a 1930s classic that can be converted into a hot rod. And they've also spruced up the West Coast USA map, one of my favorite maps, with new missions, car parts, a rally mode, and a biome tool, so players can create their ideal custom BeamNG environment. BeamNG is such a sleeper game. Honestly, if they can just put a UI around that and turn it into a game rather than just like a modding environment, that could really clean up. And we've gone through the whole sim racing show without mentioning Assetto Corsa Evo. Probably the last time in a long time we're going to do that, because that is launching in early access in January 15 or 16. And we're going to be covering it here on the channel. Please share the sim racing show with your mates if you think they're going to enjoy it. Obviously, it keeps you up to date for absolutely free. So massively appreciate all your support allowing me to do this. Please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.